Switchblade to a single in the midnight. Think twice about the motherfucking quick knife. Switchblade suicide with the wrist slice. Closed eyes won't rise when the sun's bright. Switchblade serenading in the moonlight. Holler to the fucking sky cause the moon bright. You know they say when the stars in my eyes where they go running high. There be no one alive when the union arrives. And the street lights shining, you know my time's arriving. Out when it's dark cause we midnight vibing. Midnight driving, cruising by flying. Living so fast, never think about dying. Bones up in the dark and we hang out with the Batman. Scars on my knuckles cause we fucking with the wolf gang. Switchblade shining, night bright winding. Stars in my eyes when the moonlight shines in. Murder rap on my first track. Killing shit cause I've been begging. Suicide on the second, I don't care, just accept it. Knife swipe and you're doomed. Switchblade coming soon. Chills on your spine when we holler to the fucking moon. Still shine bright, frostbite, make it eyes wide shut. Now slice with the right swirl. Blood on my fist, knife test on my wrist. Moonshine on the blade, just cruising through the mist. Middle of the midnight. Think twice about the motherfucking quick knife. Switchblade suicide with the wrist slice. Closed eyes won't rise when the sun's bright. Switchblade serenading in the moonlight. Holler to the fucking sky cause the moon bright. You know they say when the stars in my eyes where they go running high. There be no one alive when the union arrives. And a little bit of midnight. Think twice about the motherfucking quick knife. Switchblade suicide with the wrist slice. Closed eyes won't rise when the sun's bright. Switchblade serenading in the moonlight. Holler to the fucking sky cause the moon bright. You know they say when the stars in my eyes where they go running high. There be no one alive when the union arrives. And a little bit of midnight. Think twice about the motherfucking quick knife. Switchblade suicide with the wrist slice. Closed eyes won't rise when the sun.
Today, dog, I seen in the comments, someone said do McDonald's Sprite, so you already know where we're on the way to. I'll meet you guys at fucking McDonald's. Let's get it. All right, dog, we're here at the McDonald's, dog. We're going to be getting this McDonald's Sprite. Let's fucking get it. All right, dog, now it's time to get these bitches open, ASMR style.
Ate too much Adderall on this guy's fucking brain.
Dude,
Jesus Christ.
Kid never got slapped around.
There's
too much.
Sprite in this fucking dispenser.
Oh my god, Sprite.
The funny thing is, this isn't even illegal in
Alright, dog, this
Canada.
big brag
now.
gang
I'm
is
pretty
just
sure you
McDonald's
can go
Sprite.
hit the
Cheers.
bong in McDonald's just fine.
This lady here.
Hello. I would
You gotta
like
go in
y'all-
with the bev.
I would like y'all to leave my store. Thank you.
I would like you to leave my store, please.
Give me the phone so I can call the cops.
Cheers.
Call the cops, this man's drinking bong water.
So, I thought this guy was
Dog,
14,
it's fucking
but
Brad Gager.
what 14-year-old has neck tattoos?
Dude, is that a wig?
Oh, yeah. No,
It's
100%.
gotta be a wig, right?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
has to be a wig.
It's way too low on his forehead to be real hair, even if he did go through the straightening and bleaching process. Welcome back to the Crowded Room podcast. These are good segues. Fuck, we're good. I'm Alex. He's Jer. You have made it to one other episode here, live from Mar-a-Lago. We got hooked up by Trump. We're in the capital of Golf City here.
We're between the 9th and the 10th hole right now.
Yeah,
Taking a break.
Yeah, exactly. Prices are down low just because Trump's not exactly killing it right now.
He's been a little busy.
He's fighting off the DOJ
Every day.
every day, all day. Maybe that
Yeah.
guy could write us some raps rather than hit his bong in McDonald's. Goddamn. What's wrong with kids? I used to think that kid was fucking 14, but then you look at his neck, he's got like multiple neck tattoos. I don't think 14-year-olds have that shit going on.
Yeah, but you see these kids getting tattooed like that at a young age. Like,
At 14, I don't know.
I don't know, man. These kids turn 18 and start rapping, and they're already like full body tattooed.
Yeah,
Like,
he seems like someone that would drop out of high school just to make stupid videos like that and giggle at himself halfway through.
I think a lot of it is like kitchen tattoos and stuff like that. Like,
Kitchen tattoos?
yeah, people like just tattooing their friends like with their own homemade
like prison tattoos.
Kind of,
right.
but like people like. A lot of people make their own tattoo guns. Like I knew this
Really?
one guy who made one, and yeah, I mean, you take like a Discman, You remember what a Discman was?
Yeah.
You take one of those.
Not
and
that much younger than you. I am the youngest person in the world.
It's just been a while since you ever had to think of one.
Yeah.
And so the part that spins, they take that part out and they'll take a fucking paper clip, straighten it out, sharpen one end, and tie one end around that. And so as this thing goes around, it goes like this, and then they put something for it to go through to straighten it out, and
That sounds like prison shit.
yeah, I tattooed my leg when I was a little kid.
Really?
Not a little kid, but when I was 16, yeah, little kid.
You tattooed your own leg.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I was using pen ink.
I get it,
Dude.
but what did you draw?
Just my name. I just did Jer.
Okay.
I had a little signature I did, and I did it on my calf.
Yeah.
And within 2-3 years, it went away.
Right.
Yeah, it didn't last. That was my
Okay.
first tattoo. But some
Anyways.
people get decent, well, maybe not decent, but they last a lot longer. It's done by wannabe tattoo artists that just do, they call them kitchen tattoos.
Okay.
Yeah.
I heard something. This guy got arrested for tattooing a minor without a license on the news this week. And I don't remember what he tattooed, but either way, he got screwed over. If the whole world knows that you did that, you were in jail.
Cheers, Dwayne. Well, the thing is, I think it's minors tattooing minors, though.
That's something else. Yeah.
Because you might have to be 18 to get a tattoo, but I don't think you have to be 18 to buy a tattoo gun.
No.
Just fucking do it yourself.
Especially on Amazon. You can just call up anything.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Crowded Room podcast, ladies and gentlemen. This week, riveting episode once again. We got Trump speech. We got
Ireland cows.
Ireland cows. They're sacrificing cows to the weather gods over in Ireland.
That's actually exactly what's happening, I think.
Yeah.
But, JP Morgan is in the news again. We got Blackstone, not to be confused with BlackRock, but it really is the same shit.
Top G interviews.
Donald Trump's interview. That's what we should start with, I guess.
Right. So Donald Trump got arraigned for the second time, and this time he's was told to give back his documents. He didn't want to give them back, but he gave back some of them and didn't. He held on to some, I guess.
And that was illegal?
That's illegal. They're trying to hit him with 400 years. 400 years is they're trying, and he's 80 something, isn't he?
Okay.
I don't know how old he is.
This is what I want to know. So let's not worry about what anyone else did.
Yeah.
Did he do something that's worth, let's say no one else did anything bad. He was only one. Do you put him in jail for that? What did he do?
If this court hearing goes on in Florida, no, they don't. If it goes on in Washington, D.C., yes, they do put him in jail, right? So it's very biased depending on who you ask.
Okay.
The big difference, though, that he comes out in his speech and says that all these other people doing this stuff, the same stuff, like Biden had stuff from his vice presidency sitting in his garage that
I heard about that, yeah.
was proven, right?
Mm-hmm.
The
And how come no one cares about that?
because he's Democrat,
Oh.
right? Because he toes the line for the deep state.
Okay.
But the biggest difference between all that is he was actually president. None of those other people were actually a president when they did that.
Oh, but as a president, are you allowed to do that?
He says he is. I don't know. I don't write the Constitution, right? But he says, yeah, any
there's gotta
president
be
can declassify items himself. A
Yeah.
vice president can't do that, and that's what Joe Biden did.
okay.
Right.
Does it matter the document?
Yeah, no, it really matters. But they're all classified, so they all fall under the same kind of umbrella.
What I don't get is why has he got to take it home? Why
Why has he got to take it home?
can't just get a copy and burn it when he's done with it? What's he doing?
So I don't really
What's going
know.
on there?
I don't know what he'd want to do with that other than sell it to China for big bucks. But he's got all the bucks in the world, dude.
Well, apparently Republicans work with Russia and the Democrats want to work with China. Do you see that video
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Hillary
With
Clinton?
Hillary talking shit.
Did we play that on the last episode? Or
I don't know.
We should talk about that, though. There's a video of Hillary Clinton where she goes, oh, well, since Republicans want to work with Russia, China is
Yeah.
equally great a nation, so maybe the Democrats will work with China. Then she's like, China, if you're listening, fuck,
Wink, wink.
yeah,
Nudge,
exactly.
nudge. Yeah.
That was ridiculous. That was
It's ridiculous that they could say it out loud and no one cares. Right? Imagine
No
if
one
Trump came out
cares.
and he's like, yeah, well,
hey, Rush, hey, Putin.
yeah, hey, let's go.
Yeah. Let's destroy these Republicans here.
Exactly. The big difference here,
Or Democrats, sorry.
that some people are trying to say the difference is once prompted to give the documents back, Biden did and Trump didn't. So that's like the dividing line that some people are saying. The biggest difference there is Biden was never president at the time of taking those documents home, and Trump was. So the president
is there anywhere that states
declassify.
like what is right and what is wrong? And
Yeah,
like,
that's a judge, and it's got to go sit in front of a judge.
it's just got to be the judge?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same with every civil, or not civil, but a
So
lawsuit.
it depends on the judge, I guess. Yeah.
It depends on the judge, depends on the mood of the judge of the day.
Well,
and,
after listening to that Top G interview, it's like, man, if they want to get you, they're going to get you
They
on
got you.
something. If
You're
there's
fucked.
anything, like at least with Andrew Tate, there was no evidence to be found.
Yep.
So they still held him for 90 days instead of 30 days. As he was saying, like every 30 days, like if there's no evidence, they're supposed to let you go.
But he's
And,
still under house arrest, right?
Oh, yeah, but I mean, like, when he was in jail, like, he was in there for 90 days. It should have only been 30 days. However, he messaged, he had, like, a doctor's appointment. And he's like, hey, if I'm free, I will come to wherever for my doctor's appointment.
I'll
And
come back to jail, I swear.
They used that as an excuse to hold him again. And so that's why he was there for so long. And but they didn't have any evidence on him, really. Whereas Trump, that's why I'm asking, like, is this something that someone can actually go to prison for? And if it is, then they're gonna get him one way or another.
No,
dude.
like I said, if they have this court case in New York, he's going to jail.
Yeah.
If they have this court case in Florida, no, he's not going to jail.
Mm.
The bigger thing is this opens a Pandora's box to where if the Republicans get back in office, and they will eventually, be it 50 years, 100 years from now, if America lasts that long, they can turn around and do this exact same thing back to him. So let's play this. Let's play this clip we got here and see what Trump has to say for himself.
okay.
We've been engaged in an epic struggle to rescue our country from the sinister forces within who hate it. They hate our country and who want to destroy it. Can be no other reason. These forces are far stronger than Russia, China, North Korea, and Iran, all put together. Think of that. From within is worse than from without. Because the right leader in America, if you have that leader, you're going to have no problems.
He's like
with
giving
other
up all
countries.
hope.
We
He's
had
gonna
no
shit on
problems.
everyone.
We got it all straightened out. They understood. Would have never, ever had the problem with Russia, Ukraine. China right now is looking like they're going to do something, and they would have never even talked about it. Right now, however, they're putting us in the most dangerous position in the history of our country, and that's to a large extent because of the kind of weaponry we're talking about. Together, we stand up to the globalists, we stand up to Marxists, we stand up to the rhinos. You know, the rhinos are pretty bad.
The rhino.
That's what he calls
With the
DeSantis.
rhinos, you don't exactly know where they're coming from. The others you know, but with the rhinos, sometimes you find out. And we got to stand up to the rhinos. Communists and environmental extremists. You know, you have environmental extremists, too. We stand up to the open borders fanatics, the radical left Democrats, their lawless partisan prosecutors, the prosecutors. Every time I fly over a blue state, I get a subpoena. We want him before the
He's
grand
pouring it
jury.
on.
And we stand up to the fake news media, which is seriously bad. And on November 5th, 2024, we're going to stand up to the corrupt political establishment. We're going to evict a totally corrupt president, Joe Biden, from the White House. And we're going to finish the job that we started, the most successful presidency.
So this is just coming off of pleading not guilty in court.
And I think, as everybody in this absolutely packed House knows, I've put everything on the line, and I will never yield. I never yield.
Never yield. He like doubles
I will
down on his
never
own
be
euphemisms.
deterred. I will never stop fighting for you. I didn't need this. I had a great life. People said, would you do it again? The answer is yes, because We're going to make America great again. We had it there.
We were this close. We almost had it.
And I know some people who, I'm sure as soon as it was announced he was arrested and
Right.
given those charges, they just jump right on it, right?
I wonder where he is. Like, we're sitting here in Mar-a-Lago. I haven't seen Trump once. He invited us here.
I have some. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
Can I speak to the manager, please?
Can I speak to the Mr. Trump, please?
Yeah. But if you care a lot about like Trump getting hit with this, and you're like stoked, but you never cared about like Hillary Clinton or Joe Biden or Barack Obama when they were doing stuff,
That's
then
what he
just
came out and
understand that you are a victim of Trump derangement syndrome. Like that you have a problem. You just like, I want to see him do bad. Like
That was the point of his speech. He came out and he's like, Hunter Biden's laptop is proven, fully proven.
Mm-hmm.
Hillary Clinton was subpoenaed to bring her emails to court, and she completely bleached them all.
Yeah.
She had people smashing her hard drives with hammers, and that's proven, and never saw a day in court.
Exactly. So if you weren't outraged about any of that, but this is what you care about, then there's something wrong with you. Like, you don't care about corruption. You just have like a personal problem with Donald Trump.
Exactly.
You don't give a fuck about politics, a fuck about what's happening with the government. It's just a personal thing between you and Trump. And we call that Trump derangement syndrome.
The head of FBI, I think it's James Comey, dismissed the charges against Hillary Clinton, saying that no reasonable prosecutor would hear this case. And basically just exonerated her right there. Like, there's no, yeah. So that was years ago, but now all of a sudden the president, who has power to declassify classified documents, finds some in his office, and he was told to give them back, and he didn't. But that's because he believes that he had the power to declassify.
And you know what? And if he did something he's not supposed to do and he's in trouble for it, I can't defend him.
No, we're not
judges. What it
is. We can't sit here and.
But what I can say is, like, there's a lot of people just like so stoked about this, but it's like, I know it's so cliche to be like, what about Hillary? But it's like, no, honestly, like, if you can't hold that person accountable, but you're going to hold someone who was the president accountable, like, that's.
What about George Bush doing the whole war on terror thing over weapons of mass destruction?
Weapons
that
of mass
did
destruction
not exist.
That never existed. Yep.
How many millions of people died because that guy was angry that Saddam went after his daddy back in the fucking 80s?
Yeah, exactly. Like, well, if that's the case, then yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll never really know.
Nobody drags his ass into court. Nobody drags Hunter Biden's ass into court or questions Joe Biden taking millions from Chinese constituents into all these.
But we'll pull up a decrepit old Bill Cosby and be like, back in the day, you did this allegedly, and you're going to jail now as an old man. Whereas like these other people who have done war crimes, they like far worse. I'm not saying what Bill Cosby did wasn't.
Bill has nothing to do with these crimes. He was a rapist.
But what I'm saying is like they will hit some people, but as soon as you hit a certain level in politics, it's like you're untouchable unless you're Donald Trump.
He called out Bill Clinton in this speech. He did the Bill Socks case. He said that where Bill had documents hidden in his sock drawer. Really? After leaving, he called out Hillary for taking like silverware and couches from the White House when they had to leave.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Why would they do
that? He came out full fucking guns blazing saying, "Oh, you want to fuck with me? Let's go. Like, if I'm going down, you're coming down with me."
Yeah, and, fair enough. That's what I would do too.
Called out the deep state, called out everybody.
If you made your way to that level and then they're like, you're not part of our group, we're going to find a way to put you in prison. It'd be like, you know what? I'm snitching on everybody.
Yeah.
Like everybody.
Fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you know what? If you just hate Donald Trump, sure, I get it. But like, if you aren't listening to anything else, like anything he has to say on the way out, like something wrong with you.
Well, it's just a bias. And that's the thing. No matter what, the Trump lovers, no matter what they hear, they're going to love Trump. The Trump haters,
there's going to be
what you tell them,
extremists on both sides.
They're always going to hate Trump, right? So it's just try and open your ears, try and take a bipartisan kind of approach to anything you hear.
I think a lot of people get confused because they probably don't watch the show. They just see thumbnails. And like people on like my personal Facebook, they probably see our thumbnails and they're like, these guys are right-wing extremists, when really we just discussed the topic. And it's like, if you even entertain what Trump had to say, you're a bad person, it seems, you know? And like,
And you're never going to get through to them.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
doesn't matter what kind of thumbnail you put up. Like,
exactly.
You're-
So
you're not-
I've
you're
learned to
gonna-
not worry
yeah,
about
you're
it.
not going to crack through that shell,
Yeah.
that thick skull there. It's just sad that they've buried their feet in the ground and they're not going to move.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, and no matter what happens, the sad part is there's only two parties. So if you hate Trump, you're voting Biden, no matter
Only
what.
two parties that are going to get in. You
Yeah.
know, like, oh, in the States, two parties. Yeah.
RFK did a Joe Rogan episode today.
RF.
RFK Jr.
Oh,
do you know
yeah,
who
yeah,
that
yeah,
is?
Yeah, I do. How long was it?
I didn't watch it. I just saw he did one today. It literally showed up halfway through. But
He's kind of hard to listen to, but I
it's
like
hard
what
to
he has
listen
to say.
because he has a damaged vocal
So
box or
unfortunate.
something.
Yeah. He should be like that. What's his name? Aaron Belial,
Aaron
that comedian.
Belial with the-
Just the little voice to text.
No, he's
thing.
getting much better. He did about 2 years ago. He started coming out into the public. He wrote that book, The Real Anthony Fauci, and he shit talk Anthony Fauci so hard that if he was lying, he'd be sued.
Really?
He'd be sued out of the fucking public space, basically. So he was not lying, or else they would have came after him.
Well, Anthony Fauci, in the last years, so much has come out that shows that he's a liar. He lied
He
under
better
oath.
bury his face in the sand.
Yeah, and that's what he's doing. That's why he's slowly just, you know, that Homer meme where you just go back into the
into
bush
the
quietly.
bushes. Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
I hope no one follows me. But
Yeah. He can't really hold a candle to what everyone else is kind of coming out and saying about him. But RFK Jr. should be sued if he was lying. He came out and said such egregious stuff about the AIDS epidemic and everything, and how he's handling all this stuff.
well, I mean,
Gain of function
the
research.
AIDS epidemic, Biden did mess that, or not Biden, Fauci did mess that up. Like he was on TV. That was the first time he was on TV telling people what to take, and a lot of people died. And it was like the exact same thing, except it didn't really get swept under the rug back then. It was a big deal. And that shit got taken off the shelves because it killed more than 20 people. You know, anything that kills people gets taken off the shelves historically, except in the last 3 years.
Except our smack scenes.
Yeah.
Can't say that word.
Smack screens, yeah. But yeah, and so now, you know, they're going off about climate change. Apparently Justin Trudeau is saying that, you know, the fires this year are a sign of climate change. And everything that the Liberal government has said about forest fires relating to climate change this year has been completely false and not based on any evidence or like facts at all. Like, for example,
they've all been caught for starting that, and I can't vet that one, so that one's speaking out of my ass for sure.
Well,
but they've been caught for trying to capitalize on the situation and say that it's climate change. That's
and
what
so that's what's happening right now. So they're telling people that, you know, if you are listening to them, please understand this. They're telling us all that we're having these forest fires because it's getting hotter. When the biggest forest fires that we've had, like in the last 40 years, are all in the first half of those 40 years.
Right.
Like we're talking like before year 2000. Like from 1980 to like the year 2000, like that's like so many of the biggest forest fires in Canada happened then. And now he's worried about these little ones. And like, I shouldn't say little, like they still suck, but they're nothing compared to what this country's already been through in the past. And so if anything, the evidence actually shows that it's getting better and burning less each year, because there really isn't much to burn, I think.
Right.
You know, that would be my guess, but like,
speaking of Trudeau, if you want to pull up video number 3 there, we've got a Antifa member outing Trudeau for directly paying them. Yeah, so there's this whole thing here.
Really?
If we go down a little farther, you'll find something. But up a bit. But
oh, here we go. We're so organized.
yeah, it's a web page. It's not just a clip. Either way, so these Antifa members come out and say, just click on the video there, the play sign. And they're going to actually explain that Trudeau pays them directly to counter protests.
We get paid directly by Trudeau, so we don't have to set up funds
Right,
We are
and
government
anyone
funded.
can come out and just say this, but Trudeau's is not going to touch this at all, honestly, right?
Let me just say, okay, as much as I would like to believe that,
Anyone can come out and say that, yeah.
no, but just think about it for a second. If you're Justin Trudeau and let's say you wanted to fund that,
Yeah?
why you're not going up to this group? Hey guys, I got some money."
Directly,
Yeah. No, you're
let me write you a
sending
check.
someone to do that, and they don't know it's coming from you. Why would he tell them?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, tell them Justin Trudeau says go do that. Like
He literally pulls his wallet out, like
that is-
1, 2, 3.
so to me, that's a crock of shit. As much
Oh,
as
yeah,
I would
anyone
love
can
to
come
believe,
out and say that.
And
Kind of like the videos we played last week of the fire and the helicopter. Like, anyone could pull up a video of a helicopter dropping
actually, you
fire.
know what's funny is Upchurch shared another video just like that. And he was like,
A lot of
dude,
people
what
are
the
going
fuck's
off of
going
it.
on?
Yeah.
Because there's more than one video of helicopters doing that. But I don't think they're all old videos too. They have
Yep.
nothing to do with this year. And I
Right.
think it's just a technique that they do, the back burning or spot burning that they were talking about.
But it exactly right. There's a reason that people do that in helicopter. It's not the first time anyone's ever thought of that up. But everyone's shitting on Trudeau this week. Honestly, if you go to this poll, I didn't send you a poll, but there's 81%.
Yeah, I
of
saw.
people.
I
and who the
actually,
fuck takes those polls anyways, right? But
regardless, 81%. So I think we're going to see a change in the next election. I really do.
Right.
I think people are so sick and tired of them that they're actually people that don't like conservatives are going to vote conservative.
let's listen to what Italy has to say about Trudeau here.
All right.
We're not happy to be lectured by Justin Trudeau. Here is how the Italian newspaper Libero put it. Said, questo buffone vuole darsi lezione. This buffoon wants to give us a lecture. And they reference it because above that, they call him the merchant of wounds. And the subtitle below says, the Prime Minister of Canada says he's worried about the treatment of gay people in Italy. The same guy who went in blackface and allows surrogacy. So they're like, this
Just
guy,
getting shit on.
no, I don't think we need to hear from you. We actually can think for ourselves. While he was visiting Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni during the G7 to tell Italy what they're doing wrong. The government in Italy does not allow gay marriage. They allow civil unions, and recently they handed parental rights for same-sex families to the biological parent. And Justin Trudeau has a problem with this. She herself is not married, and she has a child with her partner. So, she understands sort of ununioned families. She does not appreciate this lecture.
Obviously, Canada is concerned about some of the positionings that Italy is taking in terms of the LGBT rights, but I look forward to talking with you about that because we're here at the G7 as an assembly of countries that are promoting the kinds of strong values and democratic principles that the world needs, and I always look forward to those conversations with you.
Let's look at her
Says,
face. Look
way
at this
too much.
screen of her
This
face.
chick's just like, who
I don't
the
think she's going to
fuck
give him
is
the
this
chance
guy?
to talk about that later.
Never seen a world leader so disrespected. Even Trump gets more respect from the rest of the world.
Respect, yeah.
Queste
So-
buffone. He wants to impose himself.
Let's cut it
and
real
he
quick.
wants
You
to.
good?
So there's a correlation we could draw from RFK Jr. to here, honestly, just from bringing him up earlier, that it's nepotism has brought both of these guys to the spotlight, but only one of them actually went and got a law degree or a post-secondary anything. Like it's
Which one?
RFK. He's an actual lawyer. Trudeau's not. He was a drama teacher.
Yeah, fair enough.
He was a high school drama teacher that screwed little girls, basically.
At least one, yep.
Allegedly.
Yep. While he was in blackface.
While he was in blackface. That's how he attracted the lady. But yeah, RFK Jr. at least went out and started a career in law and actually knows what the fuck the law means. And Trudeau just had a nice haircut. And people voted for him because, it's time for change.
I remember. Well, it kind of was time for change back then, but
Yeah,
like we
you
didn't know
change
what
your
we were
fucking
getting.
socks.
We didn't know what we were getting ourselves into, and I remember when he got voted in, and like all of a sudden there was a thing like all these women were like, "Oh, he's so good looking," and right off the bat, I'm like, I'm not sure about this decision.
leaving the ballot box there, I heard two ladies talking to each other, just like, "Oh, I don't care who runs this fucking shit. It's no difference to me."
There was a bunch of Twitter posts that were shared. It's just all these chicks being like, "You know what? I don't even care about politics. I'm voting for him because he's good looking."
Yeah.
And it's like,
He's got the nicest hair.
Yeah, they just got to find a really handsome conservative man
Right.
to run for prime minister. Someone more handsome, God damn it! But everyone's so old in the game. But
Exactly. It's nepotism at its finest. It's literally creating the swamp.
I love that we have like 20 topics to go through, and we're still on the first 2. It's awesome. We got
We
lots
don't
to
have
talk
to hit
about
every
today.
one of them.
No, we don't. But one I did want to actually touch for sure is this Ireland cows.
Yeah.
Well, you already know, but so essentially in Ireland, they've decided that there's too much pollution and it's from the cows. And so every year they're going to start euthanizing cows because of climate change.
It's literally sacrificing lives to the climate gods.
So they can't tell you how much it'll change things or if it'll change things. And they don't know how much things are changing currently.
Yeah. I hope they're
But they're
virgin
going to
cows.
kill all like thousands of cows.
Yeah.
Can you play this?
Cull is the proper term, sir.
Yeah, fair enough.
My shock when I see the news out of Ireland that they are planning to euthanize hundreds of thousands of cattle for no reason other than cattle emit greenhouse gases. By that, when they chew and digest the grass they eat, they burp and release some methane. Of course, they're doing this in the name of the climate, aren't they?
Yes, I mean, and it's not just the culling of cows. We're seeing it going after high-yield agriculture. We're seeing it go after particularly the climate compliance regulations going after the small-time farmers. But we just saw last week France beginning their climate lockdowns, banning short-haul flights. At the same time, we're seeing Germany talking about massive meat restrictions down to 1 sausage a month. But the animal thing goes back to the net zero commitments. This has been on the table for decades. 2023 is the year they're doing something about it.
This is coming to a city near you. This is coming here. This is going to happen. Like
We'll see. They could propose it. It's a lot easier
under our
to
current government, it's only a
change-
matter of time.
It's a lot easier to change France than it is to change the U.S.
Why
Look at
would they breed the cattle if they're just going to call them? Cassandra says.
Why would they breed the cattle? Because they had quotas to make of people eating meat.
Because there was
right?
no foresight. It was just like, oh, you know what? Let's do this.
Yeah,
And,
it's not like they knew this coming down the pipe.
So for anyone who doesn't believe it, please start paying attention. This is a real thing, and our current government absolutely supports
it's a real
it.
thing. Everyone
and they've
believes
talked
it's
about
a
it.
real thing.
No, a lot of people don't realize though. A lot of people just think it's conspiracy. Maybe not if they watch us all the time, but if you're a new listener,
Right.
just please look into this for yourself. This is a real thing now. It's becoming more and more real every day. It's maybe not in our country, but in other countries. And our leader and our government have shown and spoken about it. They only want to go in that direction. So
I think the
have to worry
bigger
about
point
it.
is this is no different than doing a rain dance and hoping for fucking rain. Like you're gonna kill the cows and hope that the weather changes. Like,
it seems like a
get the fuck outta
sacrifice.
here.
Yeah. Please don't change the climate. We'll kill all these cows.
We'll kill the
Yeah,
cows.
it does kind of sound like that. Yeah.
Right? And 3 virgins, and then we'll pour our liquor out on the ground, and hopefully Tupac shows up and does the rain dance too.
Yeah. Hologram Tupac.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
That was a
smash through a
silly
couple
one.
of these.
Okay, let's go. JP Morgan settles the Epstein case. If you guys
Yeah,
were
I
wondering
don't know
what
about
was
this.
happening with the Epstein case, this is the newest edition. They have to pay out $290 million and quietly outside of court
To who?
to the victims' families of Epstein Island.
How many victims do they have?
They got enough.
Really?
Well, they won't release the files. They won't let you know because then you'd know who they were trafficked to and everything. And
So that's-
right, it's
so
really
secretive.
It's so secretive because they had FBI plants in there, and they don't want you to know who's their undercover plants.
Oh, if that makes sense.
But those
still, there's
FBI
more than
guys
that.
fucked little girls. So let's fucking expose them too. Let's listen to what this guy has to say.
America, quietly and in the shadows, JP Morgan Chase is going to pay out $290 million to the victims of Jeffrey Epstein for helping facilitate transactions for his trafficking ring. Why don't you see this on the news? Well, because JP Morgan pays out the ass in marketing dollars to Fox News and CNN. That's right. And little cherry on top, JP Morgan Chase doesn't have to disclose who those transactions went to as part of the settlement. You see, America, we live in a world
They
where
run the
CEO
world.
Of Chase,
We'll
Jamie
give you
Dimon,
this much money if
gets
we
to
just
hang out
don't
with
have to
Jeffrey
give you that
Epstein
information.
and turn
We'll
a
give you
blind eye
anything.
to all of the nasty shit that he did. I wouldn't be surprised if he had a little fun himself on that island. And the rabbit hole goes deeper because the Attorney General of the U.S. Virgin Islands that had subpoenaed JP Morgan Chase's transactions successfully was fired on the very same weekend where our standing president went over there for vacation. In closing, America, you have to understand that news corporations are bought and paid for. And the little arguments that you have, whether they're left or right-leaning, are just to distract you from what really happens in the background. So I'm not sure what news you subscribe to, but you should definitely watch me because I'm pretty sure they're going to take me out for what I have to say.
Yep.
Take care, America.
There you go. And
So-
if they're trying to bury Trump, there's probably a good reason they're doing that too.
Absolutely. So JP Morgan, for those that didn't know or don't remember, not that long ago, just got rid of or told Kanye West he needs to find a new bank because of things that he said. That was before he even said anything really bad. He was just saying that like black people were the original children of God back then.
Yeah.
He didn't even say Hitler was a good guy at that point. And they got rid of his bank account and they said find a new bank. And at the same time, they've done that. They facilitated all that for Jeffrey Epstein. So it just shows that like clearly there's an agenda. They're trying to like in the case of Kanye West. I know this is like old news, but like if you think about it, like they don't care about pedo shit. So why would they care about what Kanye West has to say? They
Because
made
he has
that public.
influence. Because when he says something, it goes out to millions of people.
And someone that has influence over JP Morgan was like, we need to shut this guy down. Let's do this. You know what I mean? Or maybe JP Morgan's part of that influence, but or that group. But I feel like there's.
If you've got enough money, you can make fucking anything happen, basically.
That's crazy. And
It's
Kanye West has a
insane.
lot of money.
Yeah, he's got a lot of money.
And he's
but
still a victim to them.
He's got new money. These guys
new
have
money.
old
These
money.
guys got old
Right.
money. Yeah. So
I
speaking
think
of these
the term
guys,
is N-word rich.
that's not the term.
That's the term.
not the term, Alex.
Versus an actual bank. Yeah, no, I don't think you're actually rich unless you own a bank.
All right. Fair enough.
Where are you going with that?
I'm not going anywhere with that.
Your toes are cold. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't have anything to add to that. Yeah, no. What I was going to do was segue to the Blackstone, because that is kind of the people we're talking about. These are the people up there that do own banks, and now they own your DNA, and that's a scary thought.
Yeah, well, I mean that kind of speaks for itself. There's not much to dive into there. Blackstone buys your DNA.
So, what do you think a problem with that is?
That they can clone you? No, the bigger problem with that
that's
is
a science fiction
the bigger
problem.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what.
But there's more realistic problems.
Yeah, so they could take your DNA and plant it somewhere and say, "Oh, this guy shot blah blah blah," and like the game of Clue.
That's actually I never thought of that one. They could set you up if we start speaking out too much, they'll set us up.
Yeah, we're already fucked.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, in 5 years, they could take what we did in the last year and make us say anything we really want. And they don't even need that, to be honest. Like you could just take a person's kind of cadence and voice and make them say anything you want.
Yeah. Well, to stick on this subject here, a very realistic thing that can and will happen from this. This is I was told like 10 years ago, like don't do that ancestry DNA stuff because what happens is life insurance places and insurance companies
they'll know
they kind of have access to that information with some companies. And because there's not just ancestry.ca, there's a few of them, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't maybe not them at that time, but there was a few that they had access to. So it was like if you put your DNA out there and then try to get life insurance, they'll be like, oh, well, you're prone to this and this and this, so we won't insure you or your rates will be super high. So I heard that a long time ago. Now that this is in place, I guarantee you this is something you'll have to worry about. Like they will be able to do that because they're all owned by the same fucking company. So they'll share your data amongst themselves and that'll be a thing, man. And that's a crazy thought.
I think if you're going to get life insurance, you got to do those tests anyways.
There's certain tests, but no, now you don't have to do DNA tests for life insurance.
I think you got to give them some of your blood.
Yeah, but I don't think it's like. I don't think they actually did knowingly did DNA tests. Like I don't think that was a thing before.
I don't think either of us have done this, so we don't really know.
But either way, yeah, no, fair enough. Yeah.
Anybody who did this is.
Well, yeah, no matter what.
Well, I mean, like,
you
it was
did
good
this-
marketing. It's like, hey, you want to know where your family's from? You don't know? There's a lot of little orphans out there running around, and
Yeah.
they don't know.
Yeah. Did you see Us, the Jordan Peele movie Us, where they have the clones underground and shit? No, that's
Is that what
they're gonna do.
happens in
Yeah,
it?
they got like brain dead clones that don't have
Jesus.
souls.
All that guy's movies have like crazy twists.
They're basically Twilight Zone episodes. Yeah.
Crazy. Well, what do we got next here? The Starbucks thing.
So yeah, there's no real video on this, but basically the story for the Starbucks thing is some black guy comes into a Starbucks somewhere, I don't know where, and is just kind of like on his phone or something, minding his own business, and the employee calls the cops because he's not like buying something. And so the employee calls the cops on the black guy without him doing anything. So Starbucks shuts down a ton of stores.
It's just a black guy minding his own business.
Yeah, exactly. So Starbucks shuts down a ton of stores to give their employees racial motivation kind of courses.
Oh, after the fact.
After the fact, right? And that's neither here nor there. They could do whatever they want with their company. The thing is, afterwards, a manager was instructed to fire one of their employees for no good reason other than being white. And that got brought to court, and the guy was awarded $25 million.
Wow. So when you started talking about the first incident, that black guy getting the cops called on him, I was like, oh, it happened again, because that was a long time ago. That was a few years ago that happened. So
Which
I thought
is
that
completely discrimination.
I actually
and
thought
they
that
need
was the
to,
event you were going to be talking about.
No.
I wonder if that guy won any money.
So that came and gone. Starbucks did this whole re-education process with a lot of their places, and it's just kind of like went a little too far to go ahead and fire people for no good reason, which is completely illegal. Yeah. And they just thought, oh, you screwed up, we're going to fire you. Or like, you screwed up in the past, so you deserve this now.
Yeah.
And they lost a court case for $25 million. And that is new news, actually, that it just came through.
Okay, that's cool.
The court file, yeah.
Well, yeah, I never heard about any of that except the original incident, so that's cool.
It took a while, but it came through, yeah.
Hey, Shay.
$25 million is nothing to Starbucks, right?
No, it's not. They could just throw that out once in a while. It's really not a problem. Their CEO is like making like fucking 10 times that a year, so.
Exactly. What they need to do is retrain people that are much younger, and they're trying to do indoctrinate. We call it indoctrinate, but what they need to do is stop people from thinking that in the first place.
Yeah.
And stop this whole call the cops culture, this Karen culture, where you're kind of like hovering over, oh, what are you doing? What, you're going to steal something? Like that's what happened in the first place 20 plus 50 years ago.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's Walmarts that are like placed like right in the hood, and like all these like certain things get stolen all the time. So they put them behind glass, and then it's like racial discrimination because they're all.
That's in California because you're allowed to steal now. No,
yeah,
and that's,
pretty much you are allowed to steal there.
Walmart's, sure. It's from what I've heard, it's a lot more like Walgreens. We don't really have those here, but it's just a pharmacy. And so if you steal under $900, it's you get off scot-free. So people are going in with garbage bags, stealing.
Them, yeah. And people, the security can't really do anything.
No,
either.
And they just passed a law where you're not allowed to confront shoplifters.
What?
You used to see videos of people like trying to block them from leaving the door and shit. Like if there was some hero employee or something like that. Now it's illegal.
Jesus.
You're just supposed to let them go. I heard one story where people would straight up fill up their cart, right, their shopping cart, not pay, walk out the door with it, and call an Uber and sit there and wait for the Uber to show up.
Jesus.
And just like nobody would go confront them because it's illegal to confront them.
I've seen so many videos of people getting away with that shit.
So
And it is what it is. It's like
Yeah.
normalized now. So it's just going to keep happening. The good news is they're stealing from companies that like make so much fucking money anyways. Like,
Well,
you know,
I
they're not
mean-
stealing from mom and pop shops. They're stealing from Walmart. You know what I mean?
What
So
you're
it's
gonna
like,
see is there's no more of these stores around. Like these are, it's no more LA. This is
in certain areas for sure.
This is like San Francisco Bay Area kind of.
We actually covered how Walmart like pulled out of what was it, Chicago or something, or Detroit. They pulled out of one of those like really bad spots, and they said that they wouldn't. They pulled like 5 locations out or something, and we covered it like a few months ago. But it was a big deal because they said no matter what, we're not going to. But the crime is so fucking bad that they're like,
they have to.
We got to go.
So what you're seeing now is everything is behind a display glass, and some guy with a key ring has to come open it up and give you what you're looking for.
Yeah, and you know what? If that's the way it's got to be, that's the way it's got to be. They'll find a way to steal shit still. So it is what it is.
They'll just beat you and take your keys or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that's exactly what's happening in like the San Francisco area. Apparently, LA kind of smartened up and cracked down on these criminals, right? Because I mean, those places pay taxes, and if they leave, you don't get those taxes anymore.
Imagine having a small business and like it's like the government's like, oh, if they didn't steal up to $900, then you can't do anything. It's like, okay, well, I guess my insurance is going to pay for this. I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
With those big companies, that's what happens. Insurance just pays for it. It's a fucking system. They don't lose money on that shit, but they will use it as an excuse to.
I don't think we know exactly what their money's doing, but
they do have insurance and stuff.
Oh yeah, they'll have insurance. That's another big one coming out. They'll take out life insurance on their employees.
Oh, that was a big one
and they
a while ago.
They don't have to tell their employee they have it, so they'll hire people with like poor health.
Yep.
Take out giant life insurance.
I think we actually went off about this on the podcast one night.
And then when they die, they don't have to tell the family that they claimed all this money.
Yeah, exactly. So they claim money off these people dying all the time, and who's not that they have a part in their death, but they put life insurance policies on people who are about to die or whatever. So I don't think everyone that works for Walmart gets a life insurance policy, and Walmart's the only one that gets to collect on it.
Yeah,
that's so weird.
The family can, if they know about it, the family can sue.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
If they figure it out,
well, that should be a
they can
big
come back
fucking
and sue,
thing
yeah.
right now. Then they should be getting sued by a lot of people. But
I
guess
know.
that
I think they did
information
get
hasn't-
sued and
oh,
lost for
fair
like one family that knew about it, right?
Okay.
Versus how many that they do it for, I don't know.
There was something that I wanted to bring up.
Excuse me. Jesus Christ.
Mr. Speaker getting confronted. You'll see it's called Mr. Speaker. Right there. Klaus Schwab. Yep. Click on that one. It should take you up to the original. Nope. It doesn't. Oh.
That's a new one.
Oh, yeah. So go up.
What's wrong?
The original's up top. I just like
Oh,
late. Yeah. Go up till you see that same one. There he is.
What we are very proud of now is that we penetrate the cabinet.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I listened to my colleague's speech. I had a constituent that wanted me to ask a question about outside interference to our democracy. Klaus Schwab is the head of the World Economic Forum, and he bragged how his subversive WEF, World Economic Forum, has, quoted, infiltrated governments around the world. He said that his organization had penetrated more than half of Canada's cabinet. And I was wondering, in the interest of transparency, could the member please name which cabinet ministers are on board with the WEF's agenda?
Order. I know that the member was in a really good question there, but the audio is really bad, and the video is really bad as well. And I apologize. I don't know if the member. Okay.
Everything's corrupt.
Everything, dude. It's like finally got him. Okay, you got to answer this. Oh, sorry, the audio's bad. We're gonna have to shut things down. Next. Yeah,
Sorry, I'm going through a tunnel.
Oh, so frustrating, dude.
Yeah. I think Canada is probably the worst in the entire world right now.
Yeah, because they want to be the most authoritarian and give the least amount of evidence or like reason for it. Like, and it's not based off anything. It's just we're gonna do this. Fuck you.
If we're calling this a movement for the WEF to globalize everything, that I think Canada is at the forefront of.
Yep. You're right.
the shit hitting the fan.
Yep.
It's very sad that we live here and there's only one option, and that's to pick up and leave, right? And you have to leave everything you've ever known, everyone you've ever met, and it's getting to that point.
Absolutely. And
it's sad because people who really care should stand up and fight for it, but what are you going to do?
Well, like we sing about freedom in our national anthem, and it's like there really isn't much. Like, yeah, we live in a pretty free country compared to some, but like it's
everyone
compared
sings
to
the
who,
freedom
right?
in their national anthem.
But like
that's called patriotism, and it's just to rah wave the flag.
But like the truth is, we're losing it. It's like the government wants to be involved with everything nowadays, and it's very invasive and authoritarian, and I don't like it.
Yep, and the grass is always greener, no matter where you look. You might think that America sounds great and stuff, but you look at their IRS, they're looking at your grandma's Etsy profile for $600 that she made.
Yeah.
Right, and we don't got that, right? So we're like, oh, well, at least we don't have that, but we can't even bring up issues to our parliament without getting side railed.
Audio issues.
Yeah.
Can't bring up issues without having audio issues, and they just don't hear us.
There were no audio issues there
of
whatsoever.
Course not. Of course not.
It's so corrupt.
We got 9 minutes left. I think we should smash through a few of these things. I got a couple little conspiracy things to bring up. I don't know. I really want to, if you go down, Andrew, that one, up a bit. That guy in the middle. Yeah, him. Check this out.
Yep.
Last year,
what's going on?
I confronted Heizo Takenaka, the former Japanese finance minister, over why he handed over control of the Japanese financial system to a group of American and European oligarchs. He and his envoy told me that it was because Japan had been threatened by an earthquake machine. I did not believe it at the time. However, when I started exposing some of their doings, I was told by the Japanese security police that because of what I had said on places like Rents.com, that Niigata City was going to be hit by an earthquake. 2 days later, Japan's largest nuclear reactor was the exact epicenter of 2 earthquakes, both 6.8 in magnitude. That was too much of a coincidence for me. So I started doing research and found out about HAARP, H-A-A-R-P. And I realized that they really did know how to make earthquakes. And they do it by shooting a 1 billion watt microwave into the ionosphere, which is the part of the atmosphere that has a lot of energy in it, that pushes the ionosphere up into outer space, and then it rebounds. Last year,
it doesn't kind of cuts off there, but
what's he trying to get at?
Earthquake machines, I guess. Yeah, and
it's like an old conspiracy, like,
right?
From like the early 2000s.
Well, there's a concept of civilization, like, you know, the Dyson sphere kind of stuff, how there's like stages of civilization that you need to go through. I don't know about the end stage, but one is where we control the weather, we control the earthquakes, we can actually monitor everything, and we can harness the full power of the sun. If that's where we're heading, then whatever, that's one thing. But it doesn't. It's science fiction to the most part, because, I mean, if you want to put a Dyson sphere around the sun, then how do you get plants to grow?
I saw a video the other day. It actually got taken down. It was a video of a beam of light hitting the ground.
Direct
and
energy.
Yeah, they said like harnessing solar energy kind of thing.
Yeah, and, you're not allowed to say direct energy without getting banned, apparently.
Crazy,
so,
yeah. And so apparently, there's this hashtag going around called Project Bluebeam. Have you heard of that?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah. So that's this idea. Well, the idea of Project Bluebeam is apparently they're going to stage a UFO attack, and they're going to use that beam and make it look like a UFO is attacking us, and they're going to use that as an excuse to, who knows from there. But that, dude,
to false flag an alien invasion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I just read about that the other day, Project Bluebeam, and the fucking video of the government like testing out the beam itself got removed. For like, why would that get removed? Like, it's just a
dun dun dun.
So I mean, is what it is. That's just all I know.
Yeah,
that's all I know.
We know a lot, though. You know.
We know a lot. Do you want some more conspiracy, or do you got one?
No, yeah, you go ahead and do conspiracy. I got
hit that one underneath. Actually, this one isn't conspiracy. This one is entertainment.
Oh, we're running out of time here today.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Which one? Yep.
I didn't know I was talking to a teenager.
You knew that you were talking to a teenager. We have the chat logs. Don't lie about this.
Okay.
You're on the newlywed game. If you answer 3 out of 5 questions correctly, I will not call the police.
I will just post this online and ruin your life.
Look at
You've
this
been
shit.
better, I'm sure. How's it going? My name's Colin. Your name's David?
Yeah. I'm not proud of what I did.
He's so what did you slow.
Do? I didn't know I was talking to a teenager.
You knew that you were talking to a teenager. We have the chat logs. Don't lie about this.
Okay.
Leave the cows alone. Kill these guys.
No.
You're on the newlywed game. If you answer 3 out of 5 questions correctly, I will not call the police. Or do you like trivia?
Yeah.
You do have the option to phone a friend. If you want to call somebody who may know the answer to this question, you'll like to explain the entire situation to them. What year was the Model T invented?
Jeremy could answer this.
70.
No, I want to say like 1904.
1908.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
You're close. Nice, dude.
This is your second question. What is 5 plus 7?
8, 9, 12.
12, that's correct! You got one right! Hey, how about
You're
it?
still going to jail.
Golly. David, I would like you to say the first 5 letters of the alphabet.
A, B, C, D, and E.
Dave got this one right, man. Dave is on a roll right now. That's 2 correct, 1 incorrect. David, what is your favorite color?
Orange.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. Your favorite color is actually green. You got to get this last one right, David. How old was the child that you were sending pictures of your penis to?
14.
We're obviously still going to turn this into the cops.
Obviously still going to turn this into the cup. Oh, then there's the chat log.
When you're spending every day on your
God damn.
own, and here it goes.
Oh wait, we can't play music like that.
No, but it's a short enough clip. It's so disheartening that those guys get fucking keep on keeping on, right? But those cows have to die,
right?
What,
like,
what are we doing?
If only
here?
these guys like were making too much pollution, we could actually fucking get rid of them, maybe.
Yeah.
I got a couple more we can blast through.
Go ahead. We got a couple minutes here.
We can go a couple minutes late. That one at the top there, Andrew. This is an interesting one.
That asked me not to stitch them just led me down such a fucked up rabbit hole. They told me to search for connections between private prisons, owned mostly by Vanguard and BlackRock, to the music industry, which is basically all owned by Universal Music Group and Sony Entertainment. And this got dark really fast. So a lot of articles talk about the fact that the CCA has a deal with states that they would buy all of their prisons if they agreed to keep a minimum of 90% occupancy, because that's better for business.
Those are
and
private
2 months
prisons,
later,
yeah.
an anonymous email was sent out to various members of the music and publishing industries giving an account of a secret meeting where it was determined that hip-hop music would be manipulated to drive up privatized prisons' profits. We will get to that letter in a minute. But first, can we take a minute to appreciate this graph? This is the U.S. state and federal prison population from 1925 till the 2000s. In that time, since the 80s, life sentences have increased by 470%, and life without parole has increased by 394%. That asked me not to stitch them.
People argue that the CIA created the crack epidemic of the 80s
I heard of that,
and stuff, and that's what's going to put a lot of people
scroll down, Andrew.
To end up in jail. Yeah. You got one more?
I can.
Let's do one more.
Okay,
I've
click that
had
one.
enough. Had enough of this pedo shit.
This one's real good.
Do we have guardrails? Do we have
Yeah,
standards?
but here's the
to
problem.
ensure-
We
if
can't
I may
even
be
agree. We can't even
extremely-
agree what disinformation is.
This is-
You
well,
can't even agree
Rand
that it
Paul.
was disinformation, that the Russians fed information to the Steele dossier. If you can't agree to that, how are we ever going to come to an agreement on what is disinformation so you can police it on social media? I think you've got no idea what disinformation is, and I don't think the government's
Yeah.
capable of it. Do you know who the greatest propagator of disinformation in the history of the world is? The U.S. government. Are you familiar with McNamara, the Pentagon Papers? Are you familiar with George W. Bush and the weapons of mass destruction? Are you familiar with Iran-Contra? I mean, think
I just
of
had to
all the
look real
debates
quick.
and disputes we've had
Yeah.
over the last 50 years in our country. We work them out by debating them. We don't work them out by the government being the arbiter. I don't want you guardrails. I want you to have nothing to do with speech. You think we can't determine, speech by traffickers is disinformation? You think the American people are so stupid they need you to tell them what the truth is? You can't even admit what the truth is with the Steele dossier. I don't trust government to figure out what the truth is. Government is largely disseminating disinformation.
He's pissed. So that guy, the bald guy here, is the one who called the FBI on Trump basically and said,
okay.
"Go get them documents."
Okay.
He's a deep state, a DOJ fucking operative basically. But the Rand Paul guy that's talking to him there, you remember the Chinese spy investigation where he's like, "So what are you doing with TikTok?" The TikTok representative.
Yeah.
That's creepy. Tell me more about that.
Yeah.
That guy actually, I like him a lot, but he doesn't do too much other than
Rand Paul is
be
awesome.
skeptic about
Rand
everything.
Paul just dude, the way he interviews people or I don't even know the right term for it. Just gets he asks some questions.
Interrogates.
Yeah, interrogates. That is the right thing. He asks them a question and they don't answer it right, and he cuts them off right away. We're on a time limit here.
Say the word I want you to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, we
pumps
didn't
me
get
up.
to get to everything. Is there anything you wanted to sneak in at the end, or are you good?
I would like to pull up number 9 there, Andrew. This was about 5 years ago. Miss Thunberg gave us all a speech. This isn't a video, but top climate scientists warning that climate change will wipe out all of humanity unless we stop using fossil fuels over the next 5 years. If you look at the timestamp, we only have fucking 6 days, dude. We better start maxing our credit cards and sucking dicks for the first time,
Shit. Well, who's this scientist that she's talking about?
Top scientist,
climate
dude.
scientist. He ain't
Who are
the
you?
top
You sound
anymore.
skeptic
Clearly,
as
he's
shit.
full of shit.
So what has she done? We haven't heard from her in a long time. But anyways, people gave her
The less the
so
better.
much clout.
The less
back
we
then.
hear of her, the better.
People thought that she was like a savant or something, when all she is an autistic girl with a loud megaphone in front of her face.
Yeah,
But
and she was a little
anyways-
girl. I never spent too much time hating on her. At the same time, I was hating on. It's who put her in that position? Who's manipulating all this?
Yeah.
Manipulating people with her. She wasn't like, hey, I need to speak to the world to tell them about climate change and write a speech about. How dare you? It's like
she didn't apply to go on the news and be like, I would like to talk, please.
No, but
drug her
somebody
out.
else facilitated
dude,
that.
Here's a conspiracy. So I don't have too much to bring up to prove this, but her grandfather is a Rothschild, apparently.
Well,
That
makes
people,
sense.
yeah, we can go back and bring this up on a new episode, but yeah, her grandfather is apparently a Rothschild.
I hit the right button. Nice.
Either way, ladies and gentlemen, you only have 6 days to live, according to Greta Thunberg. On behalf of Alex and Jer, this has been the Crowded Room Podcast. We appreciate you guys. If you could leave us a like and a subscription. Go back, watch our old videos. We've been doing this a while, and we love you guys from the bottom of my heart.
Thanks for tuning in.
We thank you guys. Goodbye.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Switch places and meeting in the moonlight. Holla to the fucking sky cause the moon bright. They say when the stars in my eyes really go running high, that we don't wanna lie when the union arrives. And street lights shine, my time's arriving. Out when it's dark cause we midnight vibing, midnight driving. cruising by flying, living so fast, never think about dying. Pose up in the dark and we hang out with the Batman. Scars on my knuckles cause we fucking with the wolf gang. Switchblade shining, night bright wildin'. Stars in my eyes when the moonlight shines in. Murder rap on my first track, killing shit cause I've been begging. Suicide on the second, I don't care, just accept it. Knife swipe and get doomed. Switchblade coming soon. Chills down your spine when we hide out to the fucking moon. Still shine bright, frostbite, make it eyes one, shut down, slice with the right swirl. Blood on my fist, knife test on my wrist, moonshine on the blade, just cruising through the mist. Middle be the midnight, think twice about the motherfucking quick knife. Switchblade suicide with the wrist slice. Closed eyes won't rise when the sun's bright. Switchblade serenading in the moonlight. Howling through the fucking sky cause the moon bright. You know they say when the stars in my eyes where to go, running high, there be no one alive when the union arrives. And it'll be the midnight, think twice about the motherfucking quick knife. Switchblade suicide with the wrist slice. Closed eyes won't rise when the sun's bright. Switchblade serenading in the moonlight. Howling through the fucking sky cause the moon bright. You know they say when the stars in my eyes better go running high, there be no one alive when the union arrives. And it'll be the midnight, think twice about the motherfucking quick knife. Switchblade suicide with the wrist slice. Closed eyes won't rise when the sun's bright. Switchblade serenading in the moonlight. Howling through the fucking sky cause the moon bright. You know they say when the stars in my eyes better go running high, there be no one alive when the union arrives. And